In order to have or build a good relationship with yourself, you need to picture being in a relationship with yourself as you'd picture being in a relationship with someone else. Hey my loves, you're welcome to today's video. Today we're talking about building a good relationship with yourself and how you can do that. So I'm going to be sharing tips or habits on how you can build a good relationship with yourself. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. When I decided to film this video for you guys, a thought occurred to me that the best way to build a relationship with yourself is to put yourself in the place of your partner or put yourself in the place of someone that you have a relationship with. Now, I say this to people a lot, that if you're in a relationship with someone else, you'd always want the best for that person, right? You tend to push your partner to become the best version of himself or herself. You always want to be there for your partner, right? Now, if you put yourself in the position of your partner, if you put yourself in the position of someone that you have a relationship with, it would help you build a relationship with yourself. So when I made up my mind to film this video, I decided that this video was going to go in that direction. You putting yourself in the place of your partner or in the place of someone that you're in a relationship with. Picture being in a relationship with yourself. So I went on Pinterest. I searched for tips to build a good relationship with your partner. Tips to help your relationship with your partner grow. And I got these tips. So this video is going to be based on these tips. So now the first tip here is communicate. If you're in a relationship with someone, it is essential that you communicate with that person. Communication is key, right? Now, with communication, it's not just about talking. It's about listening as well and understanding. If you're in a relationship with your partner, if you are always talking and you never listen to your partner, I'm sure you know that the relationship is probably not going to be as stable as it's supposed to be. And then it is one thing to speak and listen, and it is another thing to understand. Understanding is key. Now, let's put this into your relationship with yourself. How do you speak to yourself? Do you speak to yourself nicely? Do you say positive things to yourself, or you're always saying negative things to and about yourself? If you're in a relationship with someone and you're always saying negative things to this person or about this person, I'm sure you know that the relationship is not going to last, right? So if you're always saying negative things to yourself or thinking negative thoughts about yourself, you should change that. Start speaking positively to yourself, into your life, about yourself. Say nice things to yourself. Speak gently to yourself. Do not be too harsh on yourself when you speak to yourself. And then going to the second part of this communication-ish, listening. Do you listen to yourself? How do you listen to yourself? First things first, your intuition. If there's one thing you should never take for granted, it's your intuition. Now, if you're about to do something and deep inside you don't feel like doing it, there's something telling you not to do it. There's something telling you not to go to that place. Listen. If your inner being is telling you something, you should listen. Also, another aspect of listening to yourself is listening to your body. When you're exhausted, when you're tired, when you're drained, when you're stressed, your body lets you know. And it's left for you to listen to what your body is telling you. Is it time for you to rest? Is it time for you to unplug from certain things and take a break? Listen to your body, listen to yourself, listen to your mind, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut feeling, listen to your inner being. And then moving to the third part of communication, understanding. Do you understand yourself? Now, this understanding is very crucial. Why? Because it boils down to understanding who you are as a person, understanding who you are, understanding what you want, understanding the things you like, understanding the things that drain you, understanding the understanding the things that drain you, understanding the things that stress you out, understanding the things that make you happy, understanding the places you want to be in and the places you do not want to be in. When you understand yourself as a person, it leads to you having a better relationship with yourself because you are at peace with yourself. You're not in conflict with your inner being. You're not in conflict with yourself as to who you are, what you want, what kind of person are you, what kind of values do you have. Understand the values you have as a person. Understand the standards you've set for yourself. Trust me, this is key. Out of all the points I have here, this is the most important. Speaking to yourself positively, listening to yourself, and understanding yourself. Understanding who you are as a person is the best thing that you could ever achieve in your self-development journey or in your self-realization journey. Because the moment you understand yourself, the moment you understand who you are as a person, your life is pretty much put together. Anyways, moving on to the second tip or habit, which is build trust, be honest, be faithful. Now, build trust. If you're in a relationship with someone, it's essential that you build trust. Trust that your partner is going to be there for you. Trust that you're going to be there for your partner. Trust that you can rely on your partner. When your partner says he's going to do something, you know he's going to do it. When you tell your partner you're going to do something, he knows you're going to do it. Now, in order to build trust with yourself, you need to do the things you say you're going to do. You need to be able to rely on yourself. Now, I'll give you an instance of building distrust with yourself. Now, if you're the kind of person who sets goals and at the end of the day, you end up not working towards those goals and you don't achieve those goals, in the long run, you're going to have a feeling of distrust with yourself. How? When you set goals for yourself, it's going to be even harder for you to work towards those goals or achieve those goals because you have set a track record for yourself of not working towards your goals. You've set a track record that it's a habit of yours to set goals and not work towards those goals. If you've never tried something before, how can you trust yourself to do it? If you've never tried preparing noodles, for instance, and you have friends come over and they say they want to eat noodles, you can't trust yourself to prepare the noodles for them. You can't trust yourself to make a delicious meal for them, right? So if you've never done something before, how can you trust yourself to do it when the time arises for you to do it? Now, this starts from little things. Do you trust yourself that every time you wake up in the morning, you're going to put your things in order? Do you trust yourself to do your laundry? Do you trust that on a weekly basis, you go over your budget, you go over your finances? Do you even trust yourself to rest? Do you trust yourself to take breaks when necessary? You need to build a pattern of trust with yourself. When you lack trust... Okay, we're back. Now, as I was saying, you need to build a pattern of trust for yourself and with yourself. You need to be with a pattern of reliability. When you say you're going to do something, do it. Now, moving on to the next tip, be there for each other, make time for each other. Do you make time for yourself? Are you there for yourself? Are you the kind of person who is always on the go, always trying to work, always trying to be productive, and you don't find time to take care of yourself or you don't find time to rest? I'll have you know that resting is also part of being productive. It helps with your productivity. You don't always have to be productive, okay? Take time to rest, take time to relax, take time to nurture yourself, nurture your body, and reset. You can't be there for people when you're not even there for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. If your cup is empty, you can't fill other people's cup, or you need to fill your cup first before you think of pouring out to others, right? Make time for yourself to enjoy the little things of life, okay? Now, moving on to the next tip. Leave the past in the past. Now, if you're in a relationship with someone, it is ideal that you leave the person's past behind. I mean, not everything. You need to be mindful of the past that you're living in the past when you're in a relationship with someone. But now, bringing this to your relationship with yourself, leave the past in the past. Now, if you've done something in the past that you're not proud of, acknowledge that you've done that thing and let it go. Forgive yourself. Let whatever is in your past go. Do not let it hold you back. Do not let it hold you from moving forward in life. Do not let it keep you stagnant. If you did something that you're not proud of, fine. You've done it and you've done it, right? Nothing can change it. It's already in the past. You can't go back to change it. Now, the only thing you can do is move forward and ensure that you don't make that same mistake again. Forgive yourself for what you've done in the past. Let your past be your past. Don't let your past affect your present and your future. So, whatever is in your past, let it be in your past. Now, moving on to the next tip. Know that having arguments are normal. It is normal for you to argue with your partner, right? You can't always agree, you can't always see face to face. And that's the same thing with yourself. Sometimes you have conflicting ideas, conflicting thoughts, conflicting choices. Now, it is normal. You don't have to overthink having conflicting choices or decisions. What you need to do is calm down and think about your values as a person. Now, this goes back to understanding who you are as a person. And when you understand who you are as a person, it helps you deal with conflicting thoughts, conflicting decisions, and conflicting ideas, right? So if you are in a situation where you have conflicting ideas, conflicting thoughts, take a step back and reflect on who you are as a person, what your values are, what standards you've set for yourself, and reflect on those things, and it will help you in making your decision. Now, moving on to the next. Know that you won't always be happy. I have a problem with this sentence. Know that you won't always be happy. Of course, you won't always be happy, but I'm going to rephrase it to, it is okay to feel sad. As human beings, we get to experience good things, we get to experience bad things. And sometimes when we feel sad, we tend to overthink it. We tend to want to force ourselves to be happy, and we bury whatever sad feeling we have inside of us. But it is essential that you feel whatever it is that you're feeling and let it go. Because if you don't face it, if you don't face whatever it is you're feeling, you can't let it go. It will always be inside of you, eating deep inside of you. If you're sad, if you're confused, you don't have to worry too much about it. You don't have to beat yourself up about it, because trust me, when you begin to worry about it, when you begin to ask yourself questions like, why am I sad? I don't want to be sad. I can't be sad. It will increase your sadness, or it will just add more problems to your plate. So calm down, allow yourself to be in your feelings, and after some time, get out of those feelings. So if something happens to make you feel sad, you don't have to mask it up by laughing, smiling, and pretending that everything is okay. Feel whatever it is that you're feeling and let it go. Okay, that's the easiest way to actually let it go. Feel it so you can let it go. And moving on to the next tip. I know that this video is already getting too long. I don't want it to be extremely long, so I'm going to be really fast with the remaining tips. Now moving on to the next tip. Accept and appreciate the flaws. As human beings, we are not perfect. There are certain things about yourself that you don't like, but you should not criticize those things about yourself. You should not criticize yourself because of those things. You should appreciate those things. I'm not even going to call them flaws, because I don't want to use negative terms in this video, but you should appreciate those things that you don't necessarily like about yourself. If it's something you can change, fine, change it. But if something you can't change, you should appreciate those things as being part of you. Now, the moment you start having a problem with that thing, you start criticizing that thing, it translates, or it builds up into you criticizing yourself, having a problem with yourself. And that is where issues of low self-confidence and low self-esteem stem from. You begin to feel insecure and stuff like that. So if there's something about you that you don't like, if you can change it, change it. If you can't, appreciate it as being a part of you. Accept it and appreciate it. Now moving on to the next, appreciate each other. If you're in a relationship with someone, it is essential that you appreciate what your partner does for you, and your partner also appreciates what you do for him or her, right? Now bringing this into your relationship with yourself. Do you appreciate yourself? Do you appreciate yourself for the little things that you've done, for the little things you've achieved, the big things you've achieved? How often do you appreciate yourself? How often do you give yourself a pat on the back for doing great? It doesn't even have to be something extraordinary. It doesn't have to be something so big. If in a day you tick everything on your to-do list, do you give yourself a reward for that? It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical reward that you give to yourself, but you can just acknowledge the fact that you've done something, that you've achieved something. Now moving on to the next tip, become best friends. Be your own best friend. I don't know the song that goes, I'm my own best friend. There's a song like that, right? I'm my own best friend. Anyways, shall you get the gist? Be your own best friend. Be the best friend you wish someone else could be to you. Be the best friend you wish you could be to someone. Now moving on to the last tip, love each other unconditionally. Love yourself unconditionally. Love yourself. Love who you are as a person. Show yourself love. The moment you love yourself, everything comes into play. You take care of yourself. You show yourself love. You appreciate yourself. This is like the basket that's carrying every other tip I've given. Love yourself unconditionally. Love yourself. So I'm going to stop here because I know this video is already extremely long. Yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.